usually in these webcam chats, I'm taking one or the other one of you guys to task for an insane prediction, but now I need to yell at both of you at the same time, because in the race for Best Drama Actress, neither one of you have Mariska Hargitay in here, a past winner, but you both have January Jones from Mad Men in there, who I agree is a potential contender, but how could you leave out Mariska and put in somebody who's never been there before? Defend that.
Rob talked me into it.
Well, look, okay.
No.
I was hoping you'd do the same thing, because this is my reason, okay? This is my reason. I'm just like, I don't know. There's six slots, and she's in 7th spot. Like, really, I can't not put January Jones in there. I'm not going to give you the real reason why I'm predicting her, because I'll get into trouble. My wife's just over there. But she's making it in, okay? And look, this is a very tough category. And Mariska Hargitay, she's had her go, and really, where is the buzz for her now? We're over that. We've got to move on.
It's really tough. It just came down to the fact of what Rob just said. I don't think Hargitay had the material, which Emmy voters may or may not be aware of, but the show's been on a long, long time, and there is a good history of eventually people starting to fade away from Emmy notice after a while.
All right, Chris. Yeah. I don't buy that one bit, because come on, that's a crock. You bump out Mariska Hargitay in favor of Jean Triplehorn for Big Love. Come on.
Well, I had a good reason there.
Well, give me the good reason.
Does HBO know what they're doing when it comes to the Emmys? Is that right? HBO knows what they're doing?
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
They convinced the other two lead stars to move into supporting to try to get Triplehorn this nomination.
Can I come to your defense quickly, Chris? That's the reason. It's got to be the reason that it's just
if
her
you assume,
now. That she's
if you assume she's been close before, that she's been close before, that's going to be all the momentum she needs to be propelled into the top 5. She's also got some buzz off this season for her supporting role in Grey Gardens, where she played Jackie Kennedy Onassis.
You know what? She has a really good chance. Okay, the only reason why I don't have her in there is because there are just so many women in this category who could easily make it through. You've got Glenn Close and Kyra Sedgwick. They are the locks, okay? It's also Kyra Sedgwick. She's always there, and she should be. She's excellent, and her buzz is not petered off like Mariska's has. You've got Sally Field, who I don't think should be there. No disrespect to Ms. Field, but really, that's just atrocious. That shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence as Emmy. Sorry. And then Holly Hunter. Boomer, you don't have Holly Hunter in there, I recall. She is a big Oscar-winning star, and she wins Emmys. Okay,
right,
she got nominated last year, and even though her show, in my opinion, is rubbish, she's going to make it through again.
Right. That's where you're really out of your mind, Chris, because you don't have Holly Hunter in there, but you've got Jean Triplehorn in there. And you don't have Mariska Hargitay, and you've got January Jones in there. We know how
it's pick on Chris Day.
Well, we'll get around to you soon here, Rob.
I always have faith in the voters, and then I get disappointed later. But I assume that they're going to go for the top 6 in quality for the most part. And I'm just an optimistic person.
Where did you come up with that idea? Oh, God.
Holly Hunter would not be in the top 20 in quality if you were ranking that way. I just think that they're seeing through that performance at this point. Even celebrity worshipers like the Golden Globe voters didn't vote for Holly Hunter this time. I think her time is done. And if she doesn't get an Emmy nomination, this is the kind of thing that could bring that whole show down, because all it relies on is the momentum of people knowing who she is.
Yeah, agreed.
But all three of us actually say that Anna Paquin will get in and pull off what Sarah Michelle Gellar never could with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that is get recognition for a dynamic performance in a vampire show. Chris, why do we think it's going to finally happen now? And I think that all three of us agree it will.
Well, I didn't have her in my predictions till just the last week or so. But again, with True Blood coming back for a new season just a few weeks ago, all the publicity, all the buzz that's out there for the second season. I saw a 4-star review for this weekend's episode that's airing. I just think that she is riding a wave right now. And that's this whole vampire mythology. It has never been more popular in the country with the books and the movies and this TV show. And I just think an Oscar winner like that is going to make it through.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's going to be it might be the piano reunion, this category. Anna Paquin, she does have a lot of momentum. She won the Golden Globe. She might even be nominated in the miniseries movie category for actresses as well. I mean, she has a lot of momentum and good on her. I think she's going to make it through. I really hope so. I really do. I mean, I know of a lot of people that criticize her performance in that show and her accent and all that, but I think she's fantastic. And that'd be a really welcome, choice this Thursday when the nominations are announced. And so really, that's not a left field choice. It's January Jones that we're going out on a limb for, really. But, she's in Mad Men. It's a cool show. Why not, Tom? Tell us. Why not?
I think why not? Because January Jones is a blonde vanilla character. I think there is some depth to her role, but you really have to be a regular viewer, and I'm not sure there are enough of them in the actors branch to pull it off. I think that John Hamm can transcend that because he's John Hamm and he's this matinees type star that they all know who he is. I think that her blonde blandness is a detriment there. Now, why are we not talking about Mary McDonnell for Battlestar Galactica here when we are talking about that other sci-fi kind of fantasy show, True Blood? If we think that they're going to get over their bias against that genre, which they normally have, why do we think that Mary McDonnell will not get in this year? None of us have her in our predictions.
Yeah.
And if there's any year she can break in, it's now. She has been in the top 10 before. Who wants to defend this point?
If you don't mind, I just want to start on that because I always have to have my Battlestar Galactica rant, and it's just been unfairly ignored for too long. And I agree, Tom. She really has a good shot at it. I hope she makes it through. She's in my alternates. She did make the top 10 last year, and I'm not sure of what episode she's thinking about picking, but she's got a couple of really brilliant performances, and all she needs is to break through. I don't know if it's popular enough. I mean, with critics and with fans, it's just like crazy popular, but with voters, I don't know, to make it in this category, it's so difficult, Tom. There are so many other women who are poised to make it through, like Jill Scott and Elizabeth Moss and even Angela Bassett, even, Regina King. Like, we've got some big names and respected ladies in this category. Mary McDonnell's one of them, and I've got my fingers crossed for her. If she makes it through, I'm going to have a Mary McDonnell party. It's going to be awesome. You can't come, though, because I'm in Australia, so sorry.
And Chris, Patricia Arquette, none of us have her on the list. She seems to be a perennial. Why are we giving up on her now?
Her network doesn't even support the show. They gave up on the show, canceled it. It's going to CBS. I just don't think the overall support is there, and almost every show eventually gets to a point, unless it's just something like a Cheers or a West Wing or something that is so Emmy beloved. It gets to the point after about 5 years or so that it starts really dropping off the Emmy radar, and I just don't think Patricia can. We've talked about too many overwhelmingly solid performances that I just don't think she can make it back.
And Jill Scott, you mentioned her, Rob. I think she's in the running here. I think it's a detriment to her that she is an R&B singer and not first and foremost thought of as an actress, but yet Number One Ladies Detective Agency was so well marketed by HBO, and of course was directed by Anthony Minghella for its pilot episode.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? I don't know what the Botswana accent is supposed to sound like, but she really nails that performance. She is not an R&B singer in that show. She is so good in that show, and really, if it does happen, she could threaten for the win. She could threaten Glenn Close. She's very good in it, and so I completely agree. It's a possibility. That just goes to show this category is a killer.
I think she's close. I think she's in the top 10. I think she, in some ways, it becomes political in some ways. I think she's hurt by the fact that HBO has a more of a push for Anna Paquin and even Jean Triplehorn than her right there on their own network. So I think those kinds of things do come back to bite you. That's a reason to say, I've got January Jones over Elizabeth Moss. They seem to be pushing her more, and her arc for the season really helped her a whole lot more, I think, with Emmy voters than, say, Elizabeth Moss, who's got a little bit quieter character. January Jones on Mad Men got a chance to really develop that character this year, and she got some strength into that character and stood up to her husband and stood up to other people that you didn't see at all in the first season. And that's why I think we're all looking at her as being a potential nominee this time.